Hello and welcome back to Bookish. Today I'm here with a book review. I'll be I'll be reviewing The Hiding Game by Naomi Wood. This is a buddy read that I did with Britta Bohler, and man, that was fun. That was just a great experience. Just like when I did the buddy read with Sean, it was just great getting to read a book with somebody who's so knowledgeable, so thoughtful, who thought so hard about what we were reading, and it was just great to exchange and share those ideas. So, The Hiding Game is a historical novel that's set at the Bauhaus School of Art and Design in Germany in the years between World War I and World War II. That's a pretty fascinating background to me. I have an interest in art history, have an interest in history in general. As an undergraduate, I studied the Weimar Republic and the history of Germany between World War I and World War II. So I was really interested in this topic, and that's kind of why, of the choices she gave me, I settled on this book, because I was hoping it would be this really rich historical fiction read. And there is information about both Germany between the wars and the Bauhaus School. The Bauhaus School, if you don't know, was a school of art and design. It was established in Weimar, Germany in the 1920s by Walter Gropius. Established the school, and the school attracted some fairly heavyweight modern artists. Paul Klee, Vasily Kandinsky were instructors at the school, and it kind of encouraged students to think differently about art and to think more about how the materials they were using could be used to create art. And it really was a really innovative art school, which led to some kind of revolutions in terms of modern art. And so that's a fascinating backdrop, and you get some history on the Bauhaus School and about the troubles of the school and its movement. It moved 3 times in the years between World War I and World War II in Germany, and why the school was sometimes unpopular with the communities in which it was established. And you get some of that information. You also get a little information about what was going on in Germany during this time period. But for the most part, the story focuses on 6 characters, 4 men and 2 women, who are students at the Bauhaus School. And we picked it up when they're in their first year there, and it ends up, after the students have, for the most part, graduated. Now, of those 6 students, the novel spends most of its time talking about the relationships between just 4 of those students. So there are 4 male students. There's Paul, there's Juno, there's Walter, and there's Casper, and there are 2 female students, Charlotte and Ermi. But of those 6 characters, 2, Casper and Ermi, really play very little role in the novel. And it's only at the end of the novel that we learn more about her, and Casper really is just almost like a non-figure, which kind of begs the question, why have 6 characters if only 4 of them are really going to drive the story? What the story really is about is essentially 2 interlocking love triangles that exist between those 4 characters, between Paul and Juno and Charlotte, and then between Walter and Juno and Charlotte. And the sense of betrayal and the strain that those relationships place on the friendships, which we're told were really deep friendships between all 6 characters, and then kind of how those relationships work their way out. Obviously, in those kind of love triangle situations, there is a fair amount of resentment. There's the possibility of betrayal there, and these things are portrayed and really the focus of The Hiding Game. A couple of points about The Hiding Game in terms of what I thought about it and when reading it. First of all, I found the book to be somewhat disappointing. The writing is fine, even though I was a little distracted early on by what I would consider to be the overly ornate punctuation of Ms. Wood's sentences. I found the dialogue to be somewhat stilted, but it's possible, after talking to Britta, it's possible that what the author's trying to reflect is the kind of formal manners of speech that were common in Germany at the time, so I can forgive that. The writing, for the most part, is serviceable and fine, but it was disappointing because I thought Wood did not do nearly enough with her setting. There's not nearly enough about the historical figures who were at the Bauhaus and about the school and about the ideas of the school. And there's not nearly enough about the political turmoil and economic crisis and all the mess that took place in the Weimar Republic between the end of World War I and Hitler's rise to power. You know, the political turmoil, the economic upset, and eventually the rise of Hitler and the Nazis in Germany are depicted in the novel, but only kind of on the fringes. Occasionally, you know, historical events will show up and kind of affect the plot and cause the plot to go a different way, but there really isn't a lot made of those things. So, you know, as a piece of historical fiction, I really didn't think there was enough historical information in the book, and that's a pretty big flaw. There are also a lot of questions that I thought the novel left unanswered. There are a lot of questions about the characters and their motivation. Sometimes there's questions about why things happen to them or what they've been doing for long periods of time that are just left unanswered. And in that sense, even that part of the story is somewhat unsatisfying. There are times when the various parts of the love triangle story are interesting, charming, pleasant, sweet, affecting. Those things are true. There are times when there's some information about art that are interesting, but just on the whole, for a work of historical fiction with such a rich background, such a rich setting, and a place where you could explore the ideas of an important artistic community like the Bauhaus, and a time period, and all the political and social implications of the collapse of the Weimar Republic and the rise of the Nazis, I didn't think Wood did nearly enough with it. So my opinion about this book is that it's okay. It's not an unpleasant reading experience. It's not hard to read. It's just that given what I thought the book was going to be, and perhaps this is unfair on my part, but given what I thought the book was going to be, it was just disappointing. So if you've read Naomi Wood or you've read The Hiding Game, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what you thought. And as always, I look forward to your comments in the comments section below, and thank you for watching.